Hello everyone, and welcome to my Iconic Goodbyes channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nate confronts Audra about, spoiler, and Diane is surprised by what Jack tells her. Today on The Young and the Restless, Audra searches for information, Diane offers to babysit for Kyle, and Jack is taken aback by what Summer says. Audra walks inside Crimson Lights and is surprised to see Holden sitting and sipping a coffee. He was hoping to see her again. She attempts to ignore him, but he begs for a minute. He hasn't been able to stop thinking about her since he moved to town. She suggests he take up a hobby or find another woman to smile at. The past is in the rearview, she claims. When she takes a coffee and joins him, she says he is causing himself problems. Audra appreciates his assistance with Damien's treatment, but reminds Holden that he should be back on the shore. In case he needs a reminder, she already has a clever and successful man, so he can keep his sentiments private. Holden reminds her that they were once good friends. Not that close, she says. He claims he forgot about her, but they've been thrown back together. It is wild. A coincidence isn't kismet, she explains. Holden insists that he wants nothing from her. He can't compel her to be his friend, but his boss is going to be in Genoa City, so he'll join them. That means he'll be stuck working from his phone all day unless he finds a pal to hang out with. Holden is astonished when she reveals that she has told Nate about their past. This barely registered with Nate, given everything else going on in his life. She reminds Holden that he should also prioritize Damien right now. What is he? Your friend or your boss? She asks. They discuss how messy it may be to be on a friend's payroll. He started out as buddies with Damien. She asks for further information, but he says they'll have to wait. After assuring her that he and his friend trust each other, he admits that he is more boss than friend right now. She believes he's ridiculously cagey about this. Although he won't admit to being frightened of Damien, he will say that when things don't go his way, he has a temper like a cornered mountain lion. Diane offers to babysit for Harrison on the patio. Kyle checks his phone until his mother arrives, humming with the newest updates on the Abbott man's repairs. They laugh about Jack having panic attacks, and Kyle tells her how much Harrison is looking forward to reclaiming his old place. Diane is confident that her son would enjoy some alone time with Claire. He admits that's unusual, which would excite Victor. She questions why he hasn't asked her and Jack to babysit. He tells her there is no snub, it simply never occurred to him. Diane reminds him that they used to look after him all the time, and they can do so again at any time. Diane begs him to go on a date with his girlfriend. Kyle acknowledges that he was meant to have one. She urges him to do it before returning to talking about the remodeling. Her goal is to create a home that Jack will adore while still embracing the future and the past. Kyle wonders what this means for her. Explaining how bad things became with Jack's family during their phony separation, Diane says she'd like the remodeling to be a peace offering. She'd also like to see a little of herself reflected in the house so she feels included. Her son tells her that she already has a house and family. The fact that his father's siblings approved of the rehabilitation must also be a form of peace offering. Kyle cannot wait to see it. Claire asks Victor if he supports Summer. Claire arrives at the new ranch and kisses her grandfather on the cheek. He goes on to say how her grandmother is always gushing her praises. Sitting down, she asks directly, is there a chance you're encouraging Summer to reconnect with Kyle? Victor suspects she believes he prefers Kyle to be with one grandchild over the other, but stresses that this is not the case. She is aware that he has previously had no issues with Kyle or Summer. Her grandfather does not want Kyle to be with anyone in his family. He feels sorry for Summer, who has to cope with that guy because of Harrison. Victor maintains he would never select one granddaughter over another. There is no reason for either of them to be worried about Kyle. He implies that she realizes her connection with Kyle is a mistake. Claire says that neither she nor Kyle are insecure about their feelings. She's just worried that Victor won't give them a chance. Victor adds that he has known Kyle since he was a toddler and compares him to Billy Boy Abbott, that idiot. Claire advises him not to do anything to prove his point. Her grandfather claims she understands where he stands, but she is over 21 and able to make her own decisions. You can disagree, but nothing else, she replies, forcing him to offer his word. Oh yeah, he grumbles, adding that she can always approach him to speak directly. She assures him that the Abbotts understand that nothing they say will ever be able to separate them. As she puts on her coat, he says that the Abbotts envy them for their success and closeness. That has been the situation since Jack took over as leader of the family. He gives her a hug and tells her to remember that. Summer reminds Jack of their bond. Distracted, Summer runs into Jack at society. She apologizes for being preoccupied, and he asks whether she has heard from her mother. Summer updates him about Phyllis and Sharon's disappearance and expresses her relief that Chance is now looking into it. She admits that she and the detective are taking a temporary break that could last forever. Jack hopes she doesn't feel alone. She explains that Kyle has been helpful in this regard. I'm really glad we're reconnecting in that way, she says, raising some questions for Jack. She makes it plain that she is only talking about them as a team for Harrison. She will always care about her ex, and she believes it is crucial that their son understands this. Jack is certain he does. Harrison is a confident and loving boy because of them. Summer is delighted they can chat like this and tells him that they were close even before her relationship with Kyle began. It began the day she was born, which is why she is relieved they are all back to their former selves. They settle on the couch and discuss Harrison's new nighttime ritual. Everything sounds exciting to Jack. Summer claims that Kyle has let go of his anger and stress after making peace with him. She can tell how much he loves his parents, even if he can't express it. They talk about the threat Victor still poses before going back to her being an honorary Abbott and him being her Uncle Jack. Summer promises him she would never stand with Victor against him. The feud must end. The prospect of Harrison being in the middle of it is terrifying. He guarantees that this will never happen. Jack will admit that Victor probably adores Harrison as well, but it is not unusual for him to take advantage of his loved ones. She agrees that he would not purposefully hurt her son. Harrison's happiness and safety are her and Kyle's top priorities. She believes their son may sense their reunification. Claire's decision to return to work for Nikki deserves the most of the credit. That might have been the best thing to ever happen to our family, according to her. Jack appears surprised to hear this. She tells him that she and Kyle agree on her grandfather. They have such a strong history that nothing can separate them. Knowing that we have your support means everything to me, she says. Nate and Damien discuss their father. Nate and Damien have lunch at the athletic club and talk about Amy's renewed hope. Nate assures him that the oncologist he has put her up with is the best. When Damien expresses gratitude for his role in making this happen, Nate interprets it as a step closer to forgiving her. I'm not sure I can really get there, Damien acknowledges. Hastings doesn't get this. His half-brother reveals that he lost his mother with his father. She lied to both of them every day they spent together. Nate wonders if she was supposed to tell him the truth when he was still a child. Would he have handled things well? Damien crosses his arms and says he never had the chance to find out. Nate says he needs to decide how long he'll wait to forgive her. Damien confesses that his attitude toward his mother is irrational, but it is also motivated by loyalty to his father. When he admits he is intrigued about their shared father, Nate agrees to tell him everything he knows. It's hardly much, considering he died while he was young. Nate has stories from his mother, most of which involve him becoming a private investigator and being a bit of a charmer. They joke about it, and Nate adds their father wasn't easy, so there was a lot of drama before he died. He believes Amy when she tells that their father had no idea he had another son. Damien claims they had lost their fathers in common. Nate adds that it leaves many unanswered questions, no matter how important they are. They pay the bill and expect to do it again. Nate notices Holden walking in with Audra. Nate stands forward and introduces his half-brother to Audra. Damien believed Holden was meant to be on a flight. Audra explains that they came in to grab a meal because he dislikes airport cuisine. She inquires about Amy's visit with the oncologist and is glad to learn that she has been to Chicago with the doctor to conduct some tests. Damien, who is becoming increasingly agitated, tells Holden he had to leave and leads him into the lobby. "What the hell are you doing?" Damien demanded, reminding him that they were not in town to play. He's meant to be in LA for in-person negotiations, not running after his ex, who is definitely linked with Nate. When Holden mentions Lily, Damien becomes enraged and orders him to keep away from Audra and complete the job for which he was hired. Audra returns to their table and swears not to interrupt Nate while he is busy. He observes she's in a good mood, and she says it's because she got to see him. When he receives a business call, he steps away to accept it. Holden returns, apologizing and saying that he needs to get on with his business immediately. Whispering, he invites her to lunch when he returns. She reluctantly agrees to let him phone her. Nate returns as Holden stands up, claiming he has a plane to catch. As he exits, everything seems out of place. Nate looks down at Audra and asks her what's going on. Back on the Crimson Lights patio, Kyle phones Claire to see whether she has any plans for the evening since he wants her all to himself. Summer enters and listens in as he says that his father and Dee Dee will be taking Harrison. Claire cannot wait for their date. Diane joins Jack in society. She kisses him and informs him that the house is coming up well. She adds that they have great plans for the night, which do not include a trip to the cabin. They're looking after Harrison. That was not what he expected, but it sounds fantastic. She explains that Kyle and Claire wanted some privacy. He knows that will not please everyone. Diane is astonished that he is mentioning Summer. "I have this nagging thought Summer might have decided she wants Kyle back," he tells me. Her jaw dropped. The Young and the Restless next episode features Holden pursuing Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Summer and Chance's close moment, should she stop leading him on? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Summer Newman and Chancellor will have a close encounter, but should she stop leading him on? Even Jack Abbott believes that Summer wants Kyle Abbott back. Summer openly acknowledged that she was unsure whether she could ever get her relationship with Chance back on track. Summer believes it's due of how Chance handled Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s arrest, but that seems like a phony explanation. Chance was simply performing his job, and Daniel certainly has no ill will toward Chance's actions. Summer's feelings for Kyle are most likely the actual reason she no longer wants Chance. Summer is becoming increasingly obsessed with Kyle and the prospect of rekindling their own romance. That won't stop Summer from relying on Chance in Y&R's March 12th episode. Summer will let Chance console her about Phyllis Summer's trauma, which makes us wonder if this is truly fair to Chance. Summer appears to enjoy Chance's attention, but she clearly does not intend to reciprocate. Summer will likely rely on Chance for support before returning to her pursuit of Kyle. How long will it take Chance to discover Summer isn't that into him? Will Chance realize that Summer is far more interested in a Kyle reunion at this point? Whatever the case, Chance will stand up for Summer and try to comfort her about Phyllis. That will bring the story to a close and may give Chance some hope for their future together, but no further chapters appear to be planned. Instead, Summer appears to be determined to battle for Kyle and end his relationship with Claire Newman. Our forecasts indicate that Chance will eventually have to move on with his life, but Summer will apparently keep him going for a bit longer in the interim. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Summer and Chance will reconnect briefly, despite her true objective being Kyle, so keep tuned for any romantic developments. Young and the Restless spoilers for March 10th, Sharon and Phyllis face a new test. Will Nick and Billy come to their rescue? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, March 10th, indicate that Sharon and Phyllis will have to jump through further hoops if they want to be released, or find out why they were kidnapped in the first place. On The Young and the Restless, Sharon and Phyllis are locked up together. They have yelled at each other, threatened each other, and accused each other of being bad moms. All true. They haven't figured out why they're in prison or what they need to do to earn their freedom. So far, the spooky voice hasn't been that helpful. But now it appears that they are ready to make some demands. Alternatively, make requests. In any case, Sharon and Phyllis are about to receive some information. However, there is no assurance they will like it. Man-to-man Nicholas and Billy have numerous reasons to despise each other. There's Sharon. There's Phyllis. There's Victoria. There's also the fact that Billy is constantly tilting at windmills, hoping to bring down Nick's father. Not that Nick thinks his father is fantastic. Not that Billy has a chance of overcoming Victor. However, it leads to awkward small conversation. Billy, on the other hand, is prepared to start a business with Phyllis but cannot find her. Nick has a daughter with Phyllis. And he can't find her. Or Sharon for that matter. So the two grudgingly team up. Cover-up Audra stated she told Nate everything about her history with Holden. She revealed to Sally that she could have kept back a few things. She is now backpedaling as hard as she can to avoid detection. Will Holden play along? William J. Bell, co-creator of Young and Restless and Bold and Beautiful, would have been 98 years old today. It is no exaggeration to claim that a star was born on March 6, 1927. William J. Bell is no longer being produced, and daytime television suffers as a result. Seriously, would you need two hands to count the writers who were his equals, the few genre masters who shared his ability to create riveting tales based on character? We did not think so. The best of all possible teachers, the former ad guy began his soap career by learning from the best, Guiding Light and As the World Turns founder Erna Phillips, with whom he worked on both shows and launched a primetime spin-off of the latter in 1965. Only a year later, his reputation for spinning gold from his typewriter began to spread. Days of Our Lives hired Bell to make viewing the struggling news soap feel less like watching sand fall down an hourglass. How successful was the emerging star? He was so successful that when he planned to leave to manage his own show, The Innocent Years, later renamed The Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives sued to keep him writing its long-running story. When The Young and the Restless began in 1973, it was not an immediate success. Bell is believed to have become agitated and asked to pull the plug early on. But CBS trusted in the drama, and in Bell, and in the end, the network's faith was rewarded. Since 1988, the show has led the Nielsen ratings. Even before Young and Restless became a juggernaut, CBS wanted more from Bell. When the network removed Capital from the map in 1987, it turned to its resident Midas for a successor, resulting in The Bold and the Beautiful, also known as the most-watched soap in the world. The end of an era. Bell will live on in the indelible memories he instilled in all of us, such as Days of Our Lives' controversial Bill Laura Mickey triangle, Young and Restless' infamous Lauren/Sheila feud, and Bold and Beautiful's original Sally Spectra, a role he created specifically for the late Darlene Conley. Unfortunately, the wordsmith's life came to an end on April 29, 2005, at the age of 78, due to complications from Alzheimer's disease. On this day, however, which would have been his 97th birthday, let us not dwell on goodbyes that we never wanted to say. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.